This new moon, April 22nd, 2020, coincides with Global Earth Day, which is happening at this unprecedented historic moment in human history and we're really sharing in a collective experience of this global pandemic. So one of the many things that is happening at this time is a stopping, slowing down, pausing of our habitual ways of being personally and collectively, and giving us some space and giving the earth a break from all of that habitual movement. One of the things that's being spoken about often in spiritually oriented spaces right now, such as, spaces with the Wild Woman Project, is that this time at its very best could be a radical wake up call, a radical awakening in consciousness that inspires radical, swift change, especially as it relates to our relationship to the natural world. There's a way in which, in dominant cultures, we have been collectively acting and treating the world, the natural world, as an object. And one of the things that those of us on the path of the wild woman know is that to be on that path is to be walking a path that leads you into extraordinary intimacy with the natural world, so much so that eventually one begins to feel that there is actually no barrier between our feet and the earth, our hearts and the sky, and even the bodies or the beings of one another. That the more and more that we walk into the wild, that we understand and tune into nature, we realize that there is no separation, that we are nature. And if we understand as human beings that we are nature, what we'll begin to understand is that when we harm the earth, we harm ourselves. When we poison the water, we poison ourselves. When we pollute the sky, we pollute ourselves. When we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. When we are in respectful relationship to the earth, we are in respectful relationship to ourselves. On this new moon, we have an incredible opportunity to join the human family in thinking about the earth. And I want to encourage you to vision what is possible. See, we talked about in Wild Woman School the last Wild Woman School we had, about the sidewalk art that I saw, which said, stop envisioning the apocalypse, start imagining the revolution. So in that way, this new moon is the time for that as it relates to how we are in the world. So I want to offer you a breath practice for the new moon time. So here's what it is, and you can do it, once this video is done. So there's a great poem by Joy Harjo called Bless This Land. And there are 3 lines that we're going to work with in this breath practice. And essentially, as you inhale, you'll think a line, and as you exhale, you'll think the line, and you'll think the next line. You'll inhale, you're sort of thinking it. And when you're thinking it, you're running that idea through your body, through your being, through your mind, through your heart. Okay, so the lines are this. There are 3 of them. These lands aren't our lands. These lands aren't your lands. We are this land. So I want to point out one thing here. So in the first two lines, she says lands, plural. And on that last line, she says, we are this land, singular. An ode to the one big being that we are. So when you're ready to do this, you can set a timer. You can do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 13 minutes, 30 minutes. You can do it however long you want. But take a moment to connect to the earth underneath you. And then as you inhale, you'll think, these lands aren't our lands. And as you exhale, you'll think, these lands aren't your lands. And then you'll inhale, we are this land. Then you'll exhale, these lands aren't our lands. In, these lands aren't your lands. Out, we are this land. And you'll keep going like that over and over and over again. And because there is an inhale and an exhale, and we are pairing it with a poem with 3 lines, you're going to get to feel what it feels like to inhale these lines and to exhale these lines. And there's a difference in it. And both offer something. So when we breathe like this and we align our thinking with poems or ideas, it's a way of embodying the idea, making an idea something more than just a mental exercise, but seeing if you can be in relationship to the idea in such a way that it is something you're relating to with your whole body. Energy, flesh, heart, emotions, and breath work always offers gifts. So once you do that breath practice for whatever time that you want to, then sit and vision. What will we make of this? What will we create together? What will we create together? So we're going to be really thinking about this idea of co-creation for the whole moon cycle ahead. This idea that no one person is going to come and save the world, but it's going to be just as nature, just like co-creation happens in a forest, in a field, that it happens all together, that the sunlight, the waters, and the trees, and the animals, and the insects are working together and co-creating something. And that's the opportunity, and I feel extraordinarily optimistic despite, what we're kind of up against. I believe in us. I believe in us. So if you want to explore this idea of, this new moon, Earth Day, creation thing, you can join in one of our telecircles. A lot of our circle leaders have moved their circles online. So we have tons of them listed below this video. You can join those with a trained facilitator, and you can expect meditation and ritual and sharing and intention setting. And then later in the moon cycle on May 4th, we are going to gather for Wild Woman School, which is a community ritual online, join from anywhere. And our theme and our topic this time is waking the creatrix. So we're going to really tune into the creative aspect of the wild woman. Thank you so much for your attention today. And I'm sending you big beams of new moon, Earth Day, love. Let us make use of this time.